Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And we're here at my base to do an official final tour of our Season 4 Hermitcraft base. We're high above it at the moment, looking down at all of the incredible details that we started with. We have our tents, our train stations, our arch, and if you can see it, there's a secret creeper inspector somewhere in the landscape. Tell me where you see it at. And of course, there's our mill, and down there's our tunnels, and of course our passenger train station, and we're standing on top of our mines. There's our giant trestle bridge, and to top it all off, down at the end there, that is Hermit stone, looking absolutely incredible. But it is time, guys. Season 5 is fast approaching, and we are now completely done with our base. So let's do an official final wrap-up tour. We're on the dusty trail heading into the outpost, and we're going to be touring all of the different builds that we built within our Season 4 base. And if you enjoyed the season and the builds, definitely hit the like rating button. That would be very much appreciated and would mean the world to me. And let's get into it. So we're heading through the trails, lots of cats, and our first sighting is all of the trees. And you'll see these throughout the entire mesa. We designed these to give the mesa some green color, something nice, create a pine tree, a ponderosa pine, if you will. And I think we did a really great job at that. We even have a fallen tree and a covered wagon, but this is probably my favorite build in the entire base, and that is the archway. We actually built this on a live stream, and at one point it was called, do you guys remember what it was called? Actually, I'm going to ask you, do you remember what it was called? In the comments, put what you think this archway was actually called at one point after Iskall pranked it, and it was pretty darn funny. So I want to know if you guys remember what it was called, but let's actually cross under it. And what I love about it also is that we kind of have these little kind of openings where you can kind of see the innards of it. And it's, you know, the mesa. We have yellows, we have reds, different things that we don't want to overdo in the design, but we did it very subtly in some of these corners. I think it came out really, really nice. So when you can use the yellow, you can use the red, but just really small moderation as we head over the top. It's just amazing to look back. And I hope you guys go back to the very first episode and just kind of see what we did together, all the ideas that we built this together. Like, you guys helped so much in terms of ideas and inspiration for this, and just general support and always encouraging me. And we've got our dogs keeping an eye out, you know, always keeping an eye out on things. And of course, our train station's over here, which we'll get to eventually, but we're going to start down at this end. And this is where the episodes all started, with our frontier outpost. And there's our guard dog, and that is the tent. So we wanted to create something that, you know, Scars had entered the frontier, and they set up these tents as their first kind of place here in the land. And this was our storage tent at one time. It's been repurposed now into kind of a logging camp, and I think that's really, really nice. We have our stove in the center, and of course, this was our original sleeping tent. We'll open that up. Now it is Scar's headquarters. So it's almost like a judge's table. So this is where Scar, he, you know, doles out the money to all the workers and signs them tasks here in the outpost. And this hasn't changed at all since we first started. Well, actually, I took out some of the chests, so never mind that. Anyway, this, of course, is the furnace tent and the blacksmith. Around the back, of course, we have some blacksmith stuff. So we'll turn the corner here, and as you can see, it's kind of a dual-purpose furnace. It's kind of a little blacksmith. I think that came out really nice. And back in this little corner here, that's where we created our first AFK fishing farm. It never worked very well. I think I only used it maybe once or twice, but yeah, we definitely did try to make one back there. Now, this is our big old mine shaft, inspired by real mine shafts in Idaho. So we'll see a little bit more of that, and eventually once we turn the corner. But we have a little mine cart there dumping off some gold and some diamonds. And this is one of the silliest things on the server, but it's actually my porta potty. So we can head inside here, and it's great as an AFK room in case you cannot log off the server for some reason, but you don't want to be killed by a creeper. You know, that makes sense, right? So we have our wonderful thing here, and it's, you know, we need to clean it out. It's a little bit dirty, but I think it came out really, really nice. And the chuck wagon. I love the chuck wagon because we talked about dreams and different things along those lines in that episode. I really enjoyed it. We talked about some like ideas I had for theme park attractions, and it was a really fun episode. And of course, there's Uncle Stan, and there's Impulse's head because it looked like ham for some reason. I don't ask questions. And so I think that came out really nice. We originally had some really cool creatures here. We had delivered by Derp. Remember we had Derp deliver us Cookie. So we had Cookie in there. Cookie eventually died. And then we had the zombie creeper, the most unique Minecraft mob of all. And then that Wells Knight slayed him down. It was very sad. So we no longer have Cookie. So sad face. So rounding the corner here, we're moving into where we used to grow all of our trees. And this is our train. And our train is designed around a frontier depot. So this outpost here, they're generating logs. They're generating mining materials. All these different things are then being shipped out on these train cars. So we have some little luggage things along those lines here. We have our big locomotive here ready to go into the tunnel. And if you look at the tunnel there, we did this on a Twitch stream. It's very dark, all used with black blocks. So it really creates this dark, endless tunnel. And I think that looks really cool, really creating a forced perspective feel. And of course, there's Scar there. But yeah, I think that came out really, really fun. And as you can see, logs being dropped onto the different cars, and everything in this area has a story. There's a little bit of backstory. It's not thrown in your face with, lots of like signs telling you exactly what it is. But, if you look really close, like for instance, these logs are being taken, of course, to the log fellas. And then this log over here is being taken to the birch fellas, so it makes sense, right? And this little details, a little bit of redstone for our buddy, Tango and Impulse, and we have these luggage carts over there full of stuff. And if we turn the corner into here, we have the depot headquarters. So let's actually go in here first before we get to those cars. And in here we have a big map of the actual mesas, so we can see our entire frontier outpost and all the different areas that they may be shipping to. So we had the little telegraph office too on that side, and then the warehouse and station manager. So inside here, we've got all sorts of little details, just little things that may be stored in here that's ready to be shipped off into particular areas. This build is actually fairly authentic, at least very close as we can get to Minecraft, as old Santa Fe depot stations. They had kind of the offices right there and these big warehouses on the side with these sliding doors that go back and forth. So I think that came out really nice. And here's our boxcar. I think that's looking really cool. And then over here, we have these beautiful cranes going down into, oh gosh, I can't wait to show you guys that. That's going to be really cool. And as we tour throughout, I want you guys to tell me what your favorite episode was. What was your favorite build in the entire base? So go #favorite base build and let me know in the comments what your favorite one was. I'd love to hear it, see what you guys like the most. And of course, there is our mill in the back. We'll take a look at that in a minute, but I wanted to show you this crane. I think this came out really incredible. As you can see, it's got a little steam coming out of the back. We worked so hard on this. I mean, we actually tore down this entire platform 3 times to be able to get these things in all the right spots. We built out this whole new section of land right here to take advantage of the crane's width and size. And there's the train looking super sweet. But yeah, we have another crane right there. Now, some things that weren't fully realized within the base was I never got my logs. I never got the logs sticking out of the ground after they'd been cut down. We have a small little spring built up in this corner. This was version 1 of my spring design. We'll eventually see version 2, which came out amazing. And this is the logging headquarters. This was one area that still never quite got fully realized. I wanted to create a bigger interior in here, but that's where you guys come in. When you guys download this world and you're exploring it, maybe you guys want to set up here and finish some of the projects I didn't. And you could send me those screenshots on Twitter. I'd absolutely love it if there's little things like that. If you want to do the interior for me, like I would absolutely love that if you guys did that and sent that to me on social media. I very much appreciate that. And here's a big water wheel and the river that flows through here. It turns the wheel down into a Scar waterfall, looking absolutely beautiful. Now these cars here are once again things that represent the Hermit. So we have a scallium for Iskall, we have birch for false symmetry, we have iron for the Iron Tango himself, and of course obsidian for Cubfan for his beautiful biome that he created on just in the corner over there, looking nice. So this is our big old tunnel. Now there's a reason behind the tunnel and why it was built in the first place. It was because I had to make this track on an odd angle, as you could see at the top. And I'm not going to show you inside these 2 rooms. These are fun things I want you guys to experience as you explore the world. So I'm not even going to show this to you. I want you guys to find those when you download the world and you explore it. But this was all designed to cover up that bad angle, and I think we succeeded at that. We have a signaling station right there, looking really sweet. But let's actually walk down this little trail here, and there is the Idaho-inspired mine shaft as it kind of goes down over the creek and into that other one. Now down here is an actual, you know, I forgot what Cub called it. What do you call this dam? Like earth something. In the comments, let me know, what was that dam called? I forgot. But as you can see, it actually works. So at certain times of the day, it flows down there and looking really cool. It's a really fun project that I did with Cub Fan. Just his mad geniusness that he is came up with all that was really, really fun. So leading down this tunnel here, we're going to open up into one of my favorite builds personally, and that is the station for passengers. So we built this entire passenger car system here, and I think this came out really, really, really nice. And of course, there's a caboose on the back, and there's Hermit Stone. We're going to take a look at Hermit Stone in just a little bit, but not quite yet. So let's round the corner here. And of course, there are areas that I just never finished, like in that area right there. But, you know, I tried my absolute best to get as much possible. And there's wells in the back there. And of course, here's some more luggage carts and these little overhangs for you guys to sit down and avoid the elements. There's a big spring over in that corner. But I love these cars. They're actually modeled slightly after the Lily Bell at Disneyland. That's a fun fact. So there's multiple of these cars leading to, of course, the steam engine at the top. And let's take a little peek at that. We have a water system, you know, big water tower filling up the train. And I think this one came out really, really nice. Look at those details. Absolutely stunning. So this is our big old engine. And of course, there's Conductor Scar or Engineer Scar in there looking super fancy. Now let's actually head inside. Now this was a fun build because we tried to take 3 different shades of brown and try to make something really intricate and beautiful. And look at all the different, you know, scales of shades of brown. And I think that came out really cool. So in the interior, we have a derp delivery, and this is Nitwick, I think. Let's open this up. Tickwit, that's right. So that's a ticket taker. And of course, there's little clocks and luggage and different things along those lines scattered about in the interior. Now on the upper level over here, this is pretty cool. So this is kind of the Blue District Express and the Silver Ska Limited. And they kind of show different areas where the tracks lead. And there's just places to wait for your train. Back here, there's a checkers board. So you can sit here, play some checkers with a fellow passenger. And there's a big wood burning stove back here. And looking at old black and white photos, these particular stoves were very prevalent in a lot of these stations. So always trying to stick with somewhat of an authenticity with these builds, and I really do hope that we achieve that. The lag is fairly severe on the server, but I was finally able to get up in the air, and I really wanted to show you what this all looks like from above. So we're kind of flying through it at the moment, and I want to show you, especially in this corner right here, this is what took so long, is to make this area look very nice from the rest of the server. So we have these beautiful cliffs along here, and then finally rounding out that is, of course, this mountaintop that we built on this side, and of course our waterfalls and all of these details. But what they lead to is, of course, Hermit Stone, and there it is, our biome inspired by Yellowstone, looking very, very beautiful. And as Cub Fan showed you, it's actually active and it works thermodynamically, which is amazing. So let's head down here, and these were inspired by Opal Pool in this area. And then of course this giant one over here is the Grand Prismatic. So whole area came out really, really nice, and it was such a different style than we'd gone for before. So just trying different things and taking design and building to the next level. And I really hope you guys enjoyed Hermit Stone because it's definitely, I think, between the arch and this is my favorite things that we built together on the server. And you thought that's all the base contained? There is a whole new world just under our feet. And let's head down the slope here, looking at all the incredible trees and landscaping we did back here. And here is our underground Scars headquarters. So this is where we contain a lot of our survival elements. And with all the tunnels underground, what we wanted to do was bring the mesa down below. I love the orange and the light gray and the white stripes. So we decided to take that design and really incorporate it throughout the entire underground portion once we outgrew the top level. So we've got our little waterfalls and our rock and just little mine shafts here and there. And there's even little details inside the mine shafts and cats on patrol. If you notice, there are cats everywhere, right? There's lots of cats, but there's a rhyme and there is a reason for that. Each one of these cats is strategically placed for a reason in each area to avoid creeper intrusion into areas. I am notoriously very poor at lighting up my builds, so we have creeper problems. So heading into here was unfortunately a build that never saw the light of day, and this all worked at one point was and now it's just the greatest cactus farm ever. Hashtag greatest cactus farm ever. What this was, I can't believe there's cactuses still come out of this thing. Oh man. But anyway, you would get on a minecart and you would be propelled into my mine shaft. And unfortunately, we just never got to that project. I mean, we got to a lot of things here on the server, but that was one of them that we just never did. But I at least cleaned up the interior, made it all look nice. And of course, here's where all of our mining supplies were going to be. But let's actually head down here because I love the story aspect of this build. So down here, you see these are track, right? This is track, and there's a big minecart that's kind of wheeled through here. And this was, according to, you know, my plans, this was going to be the magic diamond minecart. And the reason was that diamonds would be able to be flown into here from the hoppers and this whole minecart system that I had planned, of course, for our mine, but we just never quite got to it. And we got a decent little smelter on this side, and I love the ceiling, got a little diorite there. You always got to sprinkle in a little diorite once in a while. And then down here is our storage room, which I think came out really nice. It's all very disorganized, as you would expect here from any of my videos. It's all just, you know, just very disorganized, but that's okay. Maybe you guys could come and organize my chest. So the whole design here is you grab your materials and you take it into here, and then you're creeper proof. No creeper will get to you while you have your back turned doing your crafting. And we have your diamonds and all of those details and all of these chests here, which I think look really nice. And of course, we have our dragon head. Back when dragon heads were like super valuable, we had that as a prominent member of our base. But let's head to our other area. Now, as you might imagine, I'm saving once again the best for last. So we have some really cool things eventually to show you guys that'll blow your mind. So this is the time that I did redstone and it worked. And it was absolutely amazing. Look at this. The Diamond Man suit sitting up there looking really cool. Now this whole area, my gosh, I can't believe we did this all together, but we did it. We created some redstone. We did all sorts of really cool things to create an armory to store all of our different suits. So of course there is our zombie over there. We have our chainmail suit for formal occasions, of course. And we have our skeleton and our judge's robes for when the time comes when there have been some crime that needs to be settled around here. And of course our creeper suit, which has scared so many different hermits over time. And then as we leave, the lights turn back off and the suits all return back to their places. I love that so much. And of course, there's a little way over to Cubfan's base, which I'm sure he's going to do a tour, and I highly encourage you guys to take a look at it. He did a fabulous job. Oh, and false up there, just, yeah. Oh man, these guys did so well. So let's head back down here and let's turn the corner and let's go into our armory. And there's also another entrance to Cub's base there. This is where we store all of our wonderful things. So we've got all of our bows up here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we actually have, maybe I don't have it on me. Oh wait, I have it on me. Wait, here it is. There's Soren. Soren, back when we used boost bows to fly around the server. And then all of these chests are just full of tools and different things along those lines. But heading down here, it's once again another area of the base that never got fully realized. And this was where we're going to have our enchanter and our mending stations and different things along those lines. But at least it came out absolutely beautiful. See, these were all going to be expansion areas of the base. And then leading into this area, of course, was our enchanted book storage area. We're going to store all of our books. And I've actually still have my book storage room. It's in the archway. It's just full of books in there. And our library, and unfortunately, our villager who was delivered here, Good Times with Books, was killed. And we have some, little books over here looking really nice in a beautiful sitting area next to a fire. And yeah, I love this little area. It came out really cool. We built this during Minecon and TwitchCon, where we got this whole area built up and ready to roll, which I think came out really nice. And I think that's another entrance into Cub's base. And something you'll find throughout my base if you guys go exploring is these fun little areas like these. Oh, nope, not so much fun. But you'll see all these chests, these little building areas that I always build around my areas of construction, just a little supply. Oh, excuse me there. Got a little out of breath. Lots of talking, lots of excitement, of course, for this particular project. So let's head this way, and we are finally going to go to the crown jewel of this entire base. And let's go through this beautiful tunnel here once again, using the mesa and a little stone, all combining into this very, very beautiful design. And that opens up into our Wild West town. That is right. We have a Wild West town under the base in this cave, looking absolutely beautiful. And there's a zombie in the saloon. But let's actually start, before we look at all the buildings, we're going to start down here. This is our marina. So down here, we have supplies coming down from the depot. The depot is just above us. Excuse me, zombie, I'm super busy here. We got tours and we got all sorts of wonderful things. We got Bob the Creeper building inspector down there, headshot. There we go, shoot you. Okay, we good? We're good. Okay, so up there we have that crane. Remember the crane from the depot? It's lowering this case of Hermitrons being shipped over to Rendog to be placed in the world. I keep watching my back because I'm afraid they're gonna kill me. I keep checking my back. I'm like, I know they're going to get me. This area is so full of mobs, it's completely ridiculous. But that's heading on down to this platform here, where then it can be placed on the ships via this other crane. So let's actually walk down there and explore together a little bit. So down on the actual platform, we have some diamonds being delivered. And there's Scar. Look at Scar up in the little steamer. So these ships were kind of modeled after, you know, like a Wild West style river boat. And we put on our own little Scar style, which is nice. Now this of course is Prismarine being delivered out to the Octavoid, which I think looks really nice. And even the interiors of the boats, they got a little something like a little bedroom and up. Okay, I'm so freaked out right now. Oh geez, there he is. Oh Bob, you billion creeper inspector, don't blow my boat up. Don't blow my boat up. Oh, you fell in the water. You fell in the water, you noob. Anyway, I think this came out really, really cool. And of course, the harbor master helped us with the build. So he keeps an eye on all the things. So he's got the little steamers on the back looking super fancy. Now down over there, we've got Doc and he's the fisherman. So we've got fishing nets and all sorts of little details for these boats. And it's really difficult to find inspiration for old Western boats. So we kind of made our own artistic interpretation. Now this entire cave took over 3 days to build, and I think it came out really, really nice. Now it took, you know, months to carve out. Like this took months and months to get all the clay out, but to jazz up the ceilings, add all of these details around took very, very, very long. It took 3 days. And of course we got some trees down here, but let's look at the town. So we had the saloon built up right here. And unfortunately guys, and I apologize about this, the season ended before we could fully realize the interiors of these builds. And this is another area, if you want to come in here and add your own artistic inspiration throughout this area, I'd absolutely love to see that. So if you want to make your own interiors, go for it, guys. Like, get in there and do it. I will definitely retweet your tweets with your photos or your videos. If you want to make a video of it, like, definitely do it. I'd love to see it. So this, of course, is the general store, and I just love the styling of it. We have the letters up at the top, and of course, this window design is really nice. And here's the hotel. We've got Impulse as the proprietor of that. So, excuse me, you stupid. Oh, wow. He has got the dodging. He has got the weaving. This guy's a pro. He's gonna kill me. That is the most pro skeleton of all time right there. Wow. Anyway, let's head on inside. And like I said, the interiors were unfortunately never fully done, which is kind of sad, but I love the detail at least. I tried to make it as best we could, and this entire like cave project took so many hours to do, and unfortunately there just wasn't enough time to get the interiors done. But like I said, I want you guys to go for it. So we've got lots of little buildings here, and this is a giant build to cover up Tango's chicken farm, which unfortunately is broken because there was a catastrophic chicken failure that took place in there, and you can watch CubFan and Impulse's video for that, but hopefully Tango can fix that up before the download. You can let him know, guys. Let him know on Twitter. Like, we want the chicken farm reset back up for the world download. So heading down this way, we have the sheriff's office, and I mean, you got to put Sheriff False in the sheriff's office. I mean, like, come on, there's just no question about that. In the interior, it's all set up and ready for desks and things along those lines, cells in the back. And that came out really nice. And this is actually probably my favorite build. I feel like this is the most, you know, kind of scaled, appropriate, and well-designed of the buildings right here. We did mix in a little bit of birch, and I think that looks really nice. We tried to use a lot of different materials. Like this over here, we're using a lot of the concrete powder, and Azuma as the doctor of the town. Now, I don't know why, but, you know, Azuma just reminds me of a doctor. I don't know why, but he does. So this is his doctor's office. Once again, a little waiting room, and then the doctor's examining room in the back. I think came out really, really nice. That is my base. 1 year of work, lots of time put in it, lots of friends made, and I really, really appreciate you guys following me along on this, and I can't wait to show you season 5 and all the wonderful plans that we have for that. But I want to quickly jump into my statistics here and show you guys my time played and different things along those lines. So you guys can of course pause the video at any time to kind of look at these in a little bit more details of damage taken, mob kills. Where's the time played? Oh, here it is, time played. 42 days of work here. And let's jump over, of course, let me zoom all the way down here so you guys can see all of that. Shulker boxes open 10,000. And what do we have down here? Let's see, dirt blocks over 113,000. So hashtag 113,000 dirt blocks mined. Absolutely love that. That is really awesome. And down at the bottom, 114,000 leaf blocks harvested. I don't know if that counts for jungle, birch, all the different ones, but that is a lot. Hashtag leaf extreme. Hashtag leaf extreme. That is crazy. And of course, like I said, you can pause the video or go back at any time as we scroll through here. And some of these are a little bit boring. They're not super interesting. But let's jump over to our mobs killed. And I'm looking for the creepers. 726 creeper inspectors were killed, which is awesome. And what on earth? How many oh my gosh, I have slain so many endermen in the enchanter. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. And then scrolling down here, of course, you guys can take a look at all these things. We'll do a deeper dive into all of these things, maybe in a stream to end out the season. But I don't know what else to say, but thank you guys for watching. Like, thank you so very, very much for all of the support throughout this entire season. And I've said it before, and I want to say it again, as it means the absolute world to me that you took the time to watch the videos or leave a comment or a rating or anything along those lines. It just means so much to me. And I really, really hope you guys know that. And the way I try to repay you guys is hopefully make you content that you enjoy. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to get on this world when it's available for download, and that should be very, very soon. And I want you guys to explore it and look for all the fun things like my Soarin' bow. And I want you to take screenshots from your favorite locations and send it to me on I want you to send it to me on Twitter. And of course, I'm going to put all of this stuff here. So I'm taking off all of my armors and all of that stuff because I want you guys to come and find it. And maybe if you want, you could even wear it. If you want, you totally can. I'm not going to judge. There we go. I'm going to put my wings on that one. And this is a full Diamond Man suit. So that's looking really sweet. And of course, let's see, I'm going to put some more like things around here for you guys to find. Of course, like the silky scar. And of course, where's my diamond? There it is. You've got Scar's sword and all of those wonderful things. And there we go, guys. For the final time, signing out from season 4 Hermitcraft. We'll see you in season 5.